Hello everyone, my name is Amy and today is the 1st of August, which means it's the end of summer. Back to school is coming right around the corner, and if you're anything like me, our creative spike started up here. Summer started, we were all go, and now it's here. Everything you think of, you already done, or it's just bored. It's end of summer, met up with the friends as many times as you can before getting sick of each other. Done everything, watched every movie imaginable. So this video is here to be our art inspo for maybe the end of August, or even coming into autumn. It's a bit of art to kind of close off summer but still keep a bit of that summer vibe. So the first thing I think is great for creativity is Lego, which in my last video was very apparent. I love Lego. I think it's just the best thing ever. That is my Lego art school or art shop. I don't even know what that's called. That's what it's called. But yeah, Lego, like you can make custom ones like these. There should be some pictures up here. So yeah, if you just kind of let free, be creative, I think Lego is just such a great idea. And number 2, I would say, is aqua beads. These are very heavily child-based, so easy for anyone to do. You can do it with your siblings or like anything, or just for yourself. Here are some of my aqua beads that I made so far this summer. We have a little rainbow flag, we have a little starfish and a little duck. Now I've made loads more, but they're the ones that I have on my desk right now. Number 3, I would say, is drawing. Drawing is a great thing, especially if you get a sketchbook. This is my sketchbook, and I decorated it with lovely stickers and different drawing ideas and stuff. So a bit of Miffy and Snoopy. But when I say drawing, I don't mean become like the next Picasso or Leonardo da Vinci, all these big fancy art pieces. Just start making the most random things. Like this is Rosie. Like I choose pigeon. There's loads of ideas on Pinterest. You could go like really detailed ones. All mine are kind of line work or kind of all sketches. Not really colour drawing. Now you could, another idea was if you search up on Pinterest OC creators, and then you just kind of pause the video at random points and they give you little ideas. This is what I did for this girl. She was given antlers, this hairstyle, and it'll give you everything. You just piece together in your drawing. Or you could like stick to a theme, like this one was outer space. So yeah, drawing is so easy and so fun. Like all you need is pen and paper, like it's so easy. The next one, number 4, is bracelet making, which is I think one of the funnest things you can do. These are so easy. Like you just need your beads and you can do all different designs. Like this is just a random bead one, like there's not really a pattern to it. It's a bit big, whereas this one then has the rainbow and then a certain amount of beads. That one's very particular. And like I've ones for songs, like a fine line for Harry Styles there, and I've pumpkin for Halloween, and I have Santa Claus there for Christmas. There's loads of different options you can do. And also if you're going to concerts, I think it's a great one to do. And with bracelets and going to concerts, you could like collect them and trade them with other fans. This is the one that I had for Nat Horan. So I made a little photo frame of it, which is another thing you can do. Get like your band if you got one, or a ticket, and then all the bracelets that you make, and you can put in a photo frame. I was going to put little photos, but didn't actually have nice photos on the night because it's heavily focused on the actual concert. So yeah, that was my favourite concert, Nat Horan. So yeah, you can put your bracelets in one of them. So 2 crafts in the one. Another thing I love to make is like funky earrings. Like this is a pair of socks I have, and like I have dice as well. But like even if you don't want like kind of weird earrings, you can always go for like these type of earrings. But like you could do them in like a beads going across. There's so many different ideas. I'm sure I have some up here somewhere later. Number 6 is making stickers like from scratch. So how would you do this is you'd go on to like, I went onto Pinterest and I like searched up free sticker designs, and like this one, Good Vibes, came up. And then you're going to get some baking paper, the kind of brown paper, and then you're going to put some of this clear packing tape on it, and you're going to put your piece of paper on it. So it goes tape, tape, paper, tape, and then cut around the paper, but make sure there's like a tape outline, as you can see here, so that'll actually stick to itself. And then peel it off the baking paper, and it's all done. And you can also just hand draw your pictures, like, or you can get them off Pinterest, as I said there. And it's so fun for like designs and stuff, like books. That's actually what I did for the sketchbook. I printed off some pictures of Miffy and some pictures of Snoopy, and yeah, I turned them into stickers, and it's just so fun because like it's like you're a printer, you're just building them, drawing them out. The next one's another kind of obvious one when it comes to art and inspo, but like do some paintings, but like specifically paintings of like some memories you have. Like this is a koi fish painting, which is kind of in reference to when I went on my holidays with the fish, and I just fell in love with the koi fish, so I had to do a painting of them. Or like if you went to a concert, like I've another one here. This isn't actually the horn concert I went to. This is him and MSG, but this is for our friend. And yeah, just like paint your memories, you know, anything that's really sentimental to you, you know. So like if you're looking back, I know you have the photos, but like you'd be like, I painted that too, you know. It's cool kind of. Number 8 is pottery. So this is pottery on a wheel, and this is actually my first cup I made, so it's not even put in the kiln or glazed or anything. The handle's very long. It's like something out of Peppa Pig, but I find pottery is so fun. Like even if you go to a pottery studio, you know, just like go with your friends, mess around on the wheel and stuff. It'd be so fun. You know, like see those videos of people making the big giant vases and doing the hugs, like yeah, but you can also just do something like this, or like a dish or something small. Number 9 is weaving. I actually don't have any of my weaving right now because I've actually lost my weaving thing, you know. You can make little mini cardboard ones though at home, or you can have the full loom. But yeah, the cardboard one is so easy. You just like get your piece of cardboard and make slits like that on both sides, and just run your string around it, and then in and out, you know. Like I remember during COVID, me and my friends used to make masks. Obviously they were not wearable because, you know, the holes and all of them, but yeah, it's fun. And you could, like, if you really want to get into it, like you can make a big blanket or something, you know, get really into it. But weaving is a great option. Colouring is another great one. It's so peaceful and relaxing. I love especially these basic, you know, kind of kids ones. Ones with the big outline, because like you can add your own. And this one that I just started, so like it's very dodgy. But you know, you can add your shading, and like the ones with pools and stuff, you can add like, you know, the rivers, or sorry, the sun. You know, you can kind of design them how you want and almost make illustrations out of them. You know how it went from just a basic picture to like all the shading and the detail, and like it's not hard work. So, you know, it's very peaceful and calming. And number 11 is sewing. I actually don't have any like, you know, examples of my sewing, because I did all little teddies. Just kind of used patterns like these ones and sewed them, and then gave them to friends, like old socks and stuff. So I actually don't have any of them, but they're so cute and so easy. And you don't even have to do teddies and stuff. Like you could sew a scrunchie, or like this is all hand sewing, but you could also like do clothes like with a sewing machine if you're into that. So, you know, it's just about regaining the creativity and like, you know, making more human made art and stuff. Number 12 is to paint rocks, or like stones and pebbles. I love painting stones. This is one of my many stone collection I have. I love going to the beach and like finding flat stones around the place and then like painting them. Like this is a little sheep made out of flowers, which my friend said looked like egg yolks, which I had to give it to her. That's true. But like you can make really cool ones. Like I made one of like an M&M with a bite taken out of it. You know, here is some Pinterest inspo, but other than that, painting rocks is very self-explanatory. Like number 13 is jar painting. This is a jar. It's like just your normal jam jar that I painted with kind of some summery kind of themes. Like got a leaf there, We got a watermelon, a ring boy, a heart. You know, that was a star, but it's after rubbing off after a while. And a sun. And like, you can use it for anything. You can use it for jewellery. I actually had my money to go on holidays in it. I've stuck it out for the video. But yeah, so like, you know, any savings or anything you can just pop inside. Yeah. The jar is also like a great thing that you could like store like anything in, you know. Not, you could like money, bracelets, jewellery, like I said, but you can also do like mini like, you know, trinkets. Like, I don't know, if you had a Sonic Angel or, you know, random little My Little Pony toy, something just random, you know. Your little trinket jar, you know. Number 14 on my list is shell painting, and what I mean by shell painting is like the clam shells. Now this is obviously a very simple design, like this is just a sun, but you know, I found loads of these shells in the charity shop, so picked them up and painted them. But you can also like get the tiny shells and like turn in the mushrooms that I used to do as a child, you know, small little ones. Just paint them red and put little white dots, and I think they turn out so cute. They're like it for a little fairy garden then. But yeah, the big shells, you can definitely go like elaborate and have like really detailed designs that I assume Pinterest will have. But like, you know, I just had a really quick sun because I thought it was nice. But yeah. Number 15 is to make a DIY outfit. So this was my DIY outfit. It was the Very Hungry Caterpillar as a tank top. It's very wrinkled because I wore it a while back, but I actually came second in a fashion competition for it, so I think that's good. That is an example of sewing, but that's more sewing onto clothing. I didn't make the actual tank top. I bought the tank top and then sewed the details onto it using just scrap pieces of material, which I think is a great idea. Or you could like do like patchworks on jeans and stuff, would be another good one. Another one is the small shell sea turtle art. So here'll be some examples. I was meant to get around to doing these, but I haven't gotten to the beach to actually collect shells. But this is what it would look like, hypothetically, if I was to have it done. I think they're so cute. They'd be like great, it's almost like gifts for someone, like little cards, you know, they could like carry around. But yeah, I think like the good thing about these is that shells are so easy to find, even not at the beach. Like people donate them to charity shops all the time. That's what I found anyway. But you'd have to be mindful of how much you do take from the beach, because obviously it's animals' habitat, you know, so you gotta be a bit careful. But yeah, I do think it's so easy to make. Like, it's literally a card and hot glue. Number 17 is a pool trinket dish. This is my one. I actually grabbed this design off Pinterest. It's just clay that what I did first was I cut out the bottom in clay, rolled it out, cut it out a circle. Then you make big little worms, you roll them out. And I added 2 along the top, which was the orange and red one. And then I waited for the clay to dry until it became this colour, and I painted them. Now you can add little designs, you know, where the shines are. I added a small bit, but too close to the original colour. But here's some ideas of where I actually got my reference from. And I think they're so cute, especially for the summer, you know. To put like your earrings that we were talking about earlier inside, or like just something like that, you know. And you could paint like life boys, or if you had sun earrings or like a sun necklace like the Rapunzel ones, they would look so cute in there, all the summer themes together. The next one I have is decorating sunglasses, which I think is a great idea. I think they're so fun. This one did say no horn and it did fall off. You tell a lot of these stuff are surrounded by concerts, because summer it's very concert heavy. And no, I'm not going to Horn's dinner party tour. I'm so sad about, but I got to go to the show, so it's okay. That's where all these are from. So decorating glasses, I think it's so fun. Like, me and my friends made matching ones, but the thing is, if you don't add enough glue, they do come off around the sides. This one did hold up, small bit, but you know, it used to be across the top too. So you do have to be aware with the glasses, especially if they're cheap ones like that. I got them in the pound shop, so you know, they will break eventually, but it's okay. The next one is bookmarks. I don't even think I need to get my example out for this one. You could do any painting, can be watercolour, can be acrylic, can even just be biro on a piece of paper. Cut it out, add your little string at the top, and you have a bookmark. But like the best thing is like you can theme your bookmark to whatever book you're reading. Like here's some, I definitely saw some Heartstopper ones which were really cool. You know, they had the little the shoes. Another thing you can make is slime, which is so easy. All you need is glue, an activator. I know some places are short an activator, you know, every time I go looking they're like one bottle because it's not that popular. So like this is the Elmer's activator that I use, and this is the best one that I found, or else like you can get like unbranded ones, but I think they're weaker. And if you want to make it fluffy, you just add shaving cream or shaving foam. Sorry, I don't actually know the difference of them. And if you want it to stop sticking to your hands, you add baby oil. I actually didn't know that until this year. But yeah, that's another great thing to do. Another really fun thing to do with friends is scrapbooking. So this is a really big scrapbook and I only started it today. But there's me, my mom and my cousin, that's my family, and that's us at the arcade. This was from our summer holidays. And a little quote there: I'm a leader, not a follower. Unless it's dark, then you're going first. Because me and my brother's afraid of the dark and he will force me to go into any dark room first. But yeah, scrapbooks, I definitely think lots of pictures, lots of washi tape and stickers is what makes a scrapbook pop in my opinion. The next one's a bit different from my other ones. I don't think I've actually seen this one done before, but it's make matching animals for you and your friends. So one of my friends, her favourite animal is a monkey and her favourite colour is yellow. So this is the monkey and I gave her a little bow and a little banana. And then my other friend, her favourite colour is orange and her favourite animal is flamingos. So she got a little flower and a flamingo. You see where I'm going with this. And then my last friend, her favourite colour is green and her favourite animal is black panthers. So yeah, and then mine's a giraffe obviously, but it's up on my shelf. But yeah, so like, you know, I gave them each one and then these are my own copies, so I made 2 of each animals, you know. It's almost like a little mini zoo of all you and your friends'. The next one is to make mini flags, whether that's country flags or pride flags. So here's a watercolour one. Here's a watercolour one. I know you can also do, you know, the iron-on beads. I don't actually know the name of them. But you can make them, and you can make them as little badges and stuff, you know, any, like your country, like I've done an Irish one up there, it's hanging up on my mirror. And like this, the Airways one, like, you know, you can do pride flags, you can do country flags, you can even do fandom flags, like, you know, if your fandom has a flag. I remember favourite crafts is making place signs for your childhood shows. So obviously this is Berry Bitty City, which is Strawberry Shortcake, and specifically the 2010s version, I think, where she was a very bitty girl in a very big city. Yeah, or else that's the newer one, I don't actually know. But either way, this one is Care a Lot for the Care Bears. This is in the font of the new Care Bears and Octomagic. It's not the old Care Bears, but you know, I kind of grew up in both of them, so I little mixed it up a bit. Then we have Ponyville, which is obviously My Little Pony. And then Okido, which a lot of people don't seem to know, but Messi goes to Okido. I thought it was very popular. Not all my friends know, but like no one online seems to be too bothered with it. But yeah, such good shows. The next one I think is such a great gift. Like, I know I said they were like the sea turtles were such good gifts, but this is definitely such a good personal gift. Is making your friends or families in a watercolor painting. Like, this is so easy to do. You just need watercolors and watercolor paper, or even normal paper will do. But just do kind of a circle in their skin tone, and then whatever outfit clothes you want. Like, these were when we went to the zoo, this is what we were all wearing. And then the curly hair colours. That's me, that's my mum, that's my brother, and that's my dad. So I know that's us all. I know, like, it's obviously not face-to-face match, but you know, everyone was I showed to them could tell who they were. And I think it's just so sentimental, you know. It's like that's a piece of them, like, that's made, you know, like they're able to tell it's them. The next one is origami. So here are 2 of my origamis I did. Now I did origami dogs, which is Sky and Marshall. And if you want to see how I did these, you can go check out my kids YouTube channel that I haven't posted on in a while because, you know, went downhill. But I did make these two on that, so if you want a tutorial on how to make them, go check it out over there. Make miniature houses or like models. Like I made a stone cottage, obviously. And here's a picture of it, if I haven't showed it off enough times on this channel. But yeah, it takes a while, so your whole August will be full, probably right up until probably Christmas if you're coming and going from it. But the end result is so worth it, you know. Even if you did like a mini model of your own house, like that was just a random house I pulled from the internet and made a model of. If you did one of your own house, I think it would be so good. Well, yeah, or even like mini landmarks in your town, you know, or like places your friends like to meet up. There's endless possibilities, really. The next one is to make DIY bags from like recycled materials or just like buy anything. So these are an old pair of jeans that I turned into a little handbag. You know, I sewed a little apple on and a little charm. Stop swinging, please. Thank you. Now, I could have done a stitch so I'd be able to hide all the stitching, but I kind of like the way it's almost very cartoony with stitches, so I kind of left them in some parts. Now the bottom is very kind of unflattering, but that was my first go making a bag ever, so I think it's not too bad. And another one I done is an apple. Now it is filled with a broken Lego set right now, so sorry if that looks so weird, but that's, it kind of shows you how big it can go. That's a little apple. It's literally out of an old jumper and an old polo shirt. The polo shirt was the yellow one, the jumper was the red. Once again, could have obviously done a better job with the stitching, but I had to do it in 3 days, so time was kicking in. The next thing is making DIY cards. You know, you can do loads of different cards, whether it's birthday cards, you know, thank you cards, and homemade cards are appreciated so much more than you think. Like one thing I found when I was working with kids at the art club that I work at was when you get a thank you card, like they're all up on my board over there. Like they're so much appreciated, especially when they're handmade cards. You know, it's just more personal. And by card, like it could just be a sheet of paper too, like, you know, it doesn't have to be folded or anything, but you know, I think cards are so personal when you actually like take the time to do something to it, where it's write a big thing in the middle for like a birthday, but then if you make the base card, I find it so much more personal. Next one is to make a friendship photo frame. Now this is my friendship photo frame. It's for my friend for her birthday. Obviously you're not able to see it right now, I betcha, because it's probably blurred, because you know, none of them have been asked to be on this. I never asked them to be on this, so you know, it's safer just to say no. But here's an example of someone who put it up on Pinterest, so I'm sure they're fine being shown. There's been kind of pretty viral, but I think it's such a good gift idea, because you know, especially if you've a song lyric from like their favorite song that you can like tie in. Like here I have "You Look So Pretty, Pretty Like the Sun, I Could Watch Forever While You Shine on Everyone," because one of her favorite songs is Black Friday. So I picked them lyrics because they're probably one of the only positive lyrics from that song and put them in. This one's another one, a bit of a random one, but it's to make a puppet. Now this is the puppet I'm actually in the middle of making. I made it today, but they're very easy to make. This is the video that showed me how to make this one. Now obviously this bad puppet design is not that puppeteer's fault, but I've also made like Elmo puppets before, just out of cardboard fully, and like you can also make, you know, the paper puppets, the little dragons. Yeah, they're pretty easy to make as well. Some watercolor flower bouquets, another one. I never got around to doing this, but yeah, it's so easy, you know. Here are some more examples, but like it's just newspaper. But first you do out your flowers and then you put them in, and once again another great gift idea. But also some wall decor would be lovely. Like you can use them as anything. And you could also probably make like a vase one, you know, have vase instead of a bouquet. And another one is making clay magnets. You can make magnets out of anything really, as long as you have magnet at the back. I've made clay magnets of like Miffy, and I made, you can't really see them on the board, but I made a few little heart magnets. And if you like, you can use paper laminated, or even like our sticker method from earlier, put a magnet on the back of that. You could use the aqua beads again and put a magnet on the back of that. Magnets are probably one of the easiest, it's just sourcing the magnet, but you're going to be buying a magnet anyway. So you know, if, like what's up on the board there, that black thing, that's actually the strip magnets that you cut up. But you can also get the small circular ones, which I think actually end up being more powerful, more stronger. So I'd recommend getting them ones instead. The next one I have is some fairy ones. Once again, I didn't get around to making them. I'm so sorry, my lovelies. But here is Pinterest ideas. I could never compare to these ones, but you know, I think it's just so whimsical. You know, we're having a whimsical summer, you know, like dancing around the field. You know, even like wall decor again, they're just beautiful, you know, for like using cardboard and like materials that are lying around can be turned into some beautiful things. Speaking of materials you have lying around, a little fairy light jar. Obviously, if you had something to cover this, like if you had a piece of paper in the back, to look lovely. But this is probably one of the easiest ones of them all. Like, I know I said this one's easy, but like this one's way easier. Literally, this is a Nutella jar we have, but you can use jam jars, you can use like mayonnaise jars, you can use any jar, you know. And then you just get your fairy lights, you stuff them in, and you can decorate the lid however you want. I just added some shells because it was summer, so it's lovely and bright. But they're so easy. All these arts and crafts are like for everyone's age, you know. Another idea you could do is draw your favourite singer. So this is just Conan Gray, obviously. He's not done. His face is still being only sketched out. And I started this a couple of days ago. So that's him on the Wishbone pajama tour. But like, you could do them in like a caricature style where like it's very cartoony, or like you could do very realistic too. That one's a bit of both, a bit of mix. Or it doesn't even have to be a celebrity, like it could be, doesn't have to be a singer, like it could be any celebrity. Another thing you can make is a squishy. So this is a squishy dumpling I made. You know, wasn't falling for the consumerism trend, but at the same time I wanted one, so I decided to make my own. Actually, it was like free. We had some old balloons left over from a birthday party, and I filled it with some of the slime that we were talking about earlier, and there you have your squishy dumpling. And zero cost involved unless you're buying the slime materials and the balloon, but you get a craft out of it as well, so it equals out in my mind. Next, what you can do is make your own cup. Now this one is more on the pricey side and obviously a bit more difficult to do, because not by skill level difficult, but by like getting the access to it difficult, because you have to go to like a pottery studio and you have to get the pre-made biscuit fire cups. But here's one that I made, and I just gave it a little bright rainbow handle, and it's very summery and some flowers. So yeah, lovely and quick. They're quick to do and they'd be a great group activity, even if you had like little matching ones. I saw some girl do a Curious George one. Here's the inspo picture, and it looked so good. Like, I think it'd be a great gift again, like if someone was having a baby shower or something. And now we're almost at the end, but I think another great thing for someone would be a mystery doll of themselves. This is a birthday edition mystery doll, and mystery accessory included. There they were. Now I had tape over that, so it did actually rip over, but this is for my mom. Holiday mum, duck mom, what's it say? Fairy mom and bedtime mom. So then when she opened it, it came with a paint palette, because she is an artist, and she got the fairy mom because that's the one I actually made for her. But the box is actually just gold card with paper stuck to it that I did on my iPad, some digital drawing, and I just made the figures out of clay, added a curing, and I had some resin to make it shiny, and then it was all done. So she's two little keyrings, they're all handmade, And I think it's such a great gift, and it's so simple and quick as well, surprisingly. And now last but not least is making a board. Here's a picture of my board that I was actually pointing to earlier. So, you know, you just collect memories from like everywhere. Like, I've tickets from when I went to the zoo up there, I've concert tickets, I've cards, I've everything. I've pictures of friends up there. So, you know, all the memories kind of go in there, and especially since it's the summer coming to the end, just cram all the memories onto one board. I find it so fun, and like it's right opposite where my bed is, so you know I'm almost looking at it every night, which is, I find it really fun. You know, I'm just like, pick one, like, ooh, I remember that day, and you know all the memories start to come back. But yeah, if you like this video, my lovelies, make sure to like and comment and subscribe. It makes me know that you're actually enjoying these videos and helps out the channel a lot. And if you want to see more of these videos, make sure to comment which type of videos you want to see. Like, is it more art, or is it tutorials on what art you like? Is it more of like the crafty videos, or do you prefer more of the laid back vlogs? You know, this is a very scripted, like a list of all the stuff, so it's less natural, but you know, at the same time it was very almost like we were on a Zoom call, because I was like showing you all my art at the same time. But yeah, so bye guys.